My name is Henry Heitman, and I'm a classroom technology specialist at a local independent school. I've been doing that for about 37, 38 years. I've been playing bass since, I guess 1975 or 76, and I just thought the bass was kind of cool because I love those records, and the parts that Paul McCartney played on those Beatle records, they just talk to me, you know. I came from New York to go to Wake Forest in 1981, and I kind of thought I was going to be a doctor, and I met a couple people who played guitars, and I was like, oh, this is great. So turns out I wasn't there a day, and somebody said, well, there's this band on campus that needs a bass player. And I was like, well, that sounds fun. And I was in like one of the coolest campus bands at Wake Forest at the time, which was a band called The Shakes, and I was the freshman, they were all seniors, and there went the medical career. This was a time when, like, the whole kind of southern independent music thing was brewing. The REM and Pylon and the B-52s and all these bands that were coming up from like the Athens area, and the DBs who were from the Winston-Salem area. These records, I was hearing this stuff. I was like, this is amazing, and I'm starting to meet the people that were actually making those records, and it was really cool. I just happened to land in a great place and I loved the music, and I was a player, so I was able to, get into the scene and meet some of these folks. I had met Jay Johnson, one of my dearest friends to the day. He was a drummer, and he had just been playing. He was playing in a band, and he was just released from a band about the same time I was released from a band, for a variety of reasons, for both of us. And we kind of met, saying, "Hey, let's do something." So we did. On February 5th of 1987, and we put a business plan together, and we begged, borrowed, and stole from everything we had, and our fathers were very supportive and helped us, secure some financing and a place to do this. And I think on May 5th, we opened the studio. It was over there on Old Salisbury Road. It was in front of his dad's dental lab. When we opened the doors that May, we had worked really hard. We had to do a lot of things. We had to wire the rooms. We had to buy equipment. We had to fix equipment that we had purchased. We weren't a basement studio. We were a storefront. So we paid taxes, and we had bills, and do all that stuff. It was a tough road, but we had some fun. So the studio went, the doors were open for 11 years. Jay was with it 5, and then he went off to school to finish up his degree, and I continued to run it, and I did still continue to record. And, you make some decisions when you need insurance, and you have kids on the way, and you're tired of working every weekend. So we sold it off. We had one big party last night, May 5th, 1998. And that was it. And I left that day after I'd sold the last piece of equipment, and I hadn't gone back. The song's called Behind Their Eyes, and really the seed was me driving to work one day, and this woman was behind me, and she was just not happy with me, and she gave me this awful look, and then she took off, and then she cut in front of this other truck, and where was she going? You know, what was she going to do? She was rushing off to something that she had to get at, and it didn't matter what was in her way, she was going to get there. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's just something that they're dealing with that you don't know about. And I thought, you know, well, this might be a good idea for a song, and so I started writing it and demoed it a couple times right in the studio, in the basement here, and when I thought about this, I said, where am I going to go record it? And then I thought, well, why not call Doug Williams, who is now in the building where my studio was, our studio, and see if he'd be interested. And I called him, and he said, yeah, let's do it. All of a sudden, I was walking into a space that, you know, I put my heart and soul in 25, 30 years earlier.
You're looking good. How was your trip?
This is like...
It was pretty surreal, but after about 15 minutes of getting over the emotional, you know, punch in the nose about being in the space, we just got down to business, started working.
We all chase so many dreams in these rooms.
The lyric came first, and then I kind of formulated the lyric for the first verse, and I came home, and I just remember like picking up the guitar, and this chord came to me where a part of it stays the same, but the rest of it moves. So it was just very simple. So I just stayed in this form, but see, I'm playing it in 3/4 now. This whole song started, it was doing this, so it's in 4/4. But the words had spread out so much, and I guess when I was at the beach with my two buddies, and they were like, yeah, the words are kind of spread out. Why don't you go to 3/4 with it and see what it sounds like? That's when I went, 1, 2, 3. And it had this, and all of a sudden, the words just fell right in for the verse, and it was like, well, how do I do that? I said, 4:21 in the morning, you know, and it just went on from there. I'd been hearing these parts for the song, and one of the big parts I heard was these French horns. I don't know why French horns. I heard them, heard the parts in my head, and I said, ooh, my son plays French horn. And I always thought, you know, I guess I call it a reveal in the song where, you know, we find out what was going on in the first 2 verses, and I thought my daughter would be great for that part because I just kept hearing kind of a soft voice and female, and she loves to sing. So I got her involved. So I got Henry and I got Christina, and we ended up, all 5 of us, singing the eyes part in the song. And that was really neat. I mean, to have everybody in on that song. So to have them in the space, understanding, hey, this is what, you know, Dad did all these years ago, and to be involved in the recording process, that was really special too. All my kids, my whole family was going to be on this song. That meant something to me, and that's why you do it. You know?
4:21 in the morning, there's a Jetta on my back. She leers at me, a look that could kill. She cuts in front of that plumbing truck and speeds on up the ramp. I guess she's just a bitter little pill. talked to Bob, a friend of mine, to grab one after work. I've asked 3 times, and 3 times he said no. We used to drink here quite a bit, but lately he's avoiding it. I guess he found a better place to go. When given grace, did we do all we could? For those whose only answer is, I'm good. You think you know their way and style. You give an inch, they take a mile. But do you really know what's up behind their eyes? When their day is done, the night grows long. It's hard to know if something's wrong. Do you really know what's up behind their eyes? So many times we miss the little things. The silent screams for help as sadness sings.
The Jetta girl, she sped away to spend just one more precious day at the hospice where her dad is slipping fast.
And Bob, well, he's not going out. He's got meetings he can't do without. Pride's the only thing he can control.
When given grace, did we do all we could? For those whose only answer is, I'm good. You think you know their way and style. You give an inch, they take a mile. But do you really know what's up behind their eyes? When the day is done, the night grows long. It's hard to know if something's wrong.
Do you really know what's up behind her eyes?
Do you really know what's up behind his eyes? Do you really know what's up behind my eyes?